Brrr! Rabbit shivered. Rabbit was cold. Rabbit was outside, and that's why Rabbit was cold. And the reason why Rabbit was outside was because Rabbit was looking for something to eat. Rabbit was hungry. It was cold, it was bitter cold. The north wind growled, and so did Rabbit's empty belly. And it was then, on the edge of a little clearing, that Rabbit spied 2 beautiful white and purple turnips. Rabbit took them home. What a feast! Took the turnips into a burrow. She chewed and chomped and munched on the first of them, and by the time she'd finished it, her belly was full, and there was no room for the second one. And Rabbit was a kind soul, and she thought, do you know, I've been so hungry today. I wonder if any of my friends would like this second turnip, because I'm too full to eat it just now. And so it was that she decided to take the turnip to her friend the donkey. She thought, I know donkeys love to eat a turnip every now and then. And she took the turnip to Donkey's house, but Donkey was out. And so it was that Rabbit left the turnip on the donkey's table and went back to her burrow. Donkey was out because Donkey was looking for food. And because he was out, he was cold. It was bitter cold. The north wind growled, and so did Donkey's empty belly, because Donkey was hungry. And so it was that Donkey was delighted when he spied on the edge of a turned field 2 potatoes. Potatoes, he thought, potatoes, and there's 2 of them. They'll fill my belly today. And he carried those potatoes back to his house, and he chewed and chomped and munched on them. He ate them both until his donkey's belly was full. And it was then that he saw the beautiful turnip on the table. Oh, he thought, a turnip that someone's left for me, how kind. But I'm too full to eat it now. Oh, who could I give it to? And he thought, and he remembered his friend the sheep. And he thought, I know that sheeps like to eat a turnip every now and then. I'll take it to her house. And so Donkey took the turnip to Sheep's house, and it so happened that Sheep wasn't in, she was out. So Donkey left the turnip amongst the straw on the sheep's soft bed, and he went home. Sheep was out because Sheep was looking for food. And because she was out, she was cold. It was bitter cold. The north wind growled, and so did Sheep's belly, because Sheep was hungry. And so it was that Sheep was delighted when she saw growing in a corner of a field a big, dark green cabbage. Oh, look at the size of that cabbage. Sheep thought to herself, that'll keep me fed for today. And she went and she gathered up the cabbage and she took it back to her house. And when she got home, she chewed and she chomped and she munched, and that cabbage was delicious. And by the time she'd finished it, she was ready for bed. But when she went to her straw bed, she was amazed to find a white and purple turnip sitting there amongst the straw. She thought, oh, someone's left this for me, how kind. But I'm too full to eat it now. I wonder who might like it. And she thought, and then she remembered her good friend the squirrel. Oh, squirrel, she thought. Squirrel's always burying nuts and forgetting where he's buried them. I bet he would like a turnip to eat. That would keep him busy chewing on something for ages. And so it was that Sheep took the turnip to Squirrel's home. Now, Squirrel's home was in a hole in a tree, and the turnip was quite big, and Sheep pushed the turnip in, and it blocked up the squirrel's hole. Squirrel was out. And the reason why Squirrel was out was because Squirrel was looking for food. He was searching the forest floor for any nuts. He knew he buried them somewhere, but he couldn't remember where. And he was cold because it was bitter cold. The north wind growled, and so did that squirrel's belly. And eventually he found 3 hazelnuts that he'd buried in the autumn. And he thought, oh, delicious, they'll feed me for today. And he went home with his hazelnuts, but he couldn't get into his house because the door was blocked up with the turnip. And he thought, a turnip? Some kind soul has brought me a turnip to eat. But I don't need a turnip today because I've got my hazelnuts. I wonder who would like a turnip. And while he was chewing and chomping and munching on his nuts, he had an idea. He thought, I know who likes turnips. And with a great heave, he pulled the turnip out of the hole, the door of his house in the tree, and he took the turnip to his friend. And his friend was Rabbit. And Rabbit was asleep, and he didn't like to wake her up, so he just left the turnip at the side of Rabbit's bed. When Rabbit woke up, she stretched herself. She thought, I'm not cold anymore, but I am feeling hungry again. Oh, I wish I'd kept that other turnip. And when she looked to the side of the bed, what did she see but the turnip? And Rabbit was delighted.